What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today we're up against Ben, who I believe we have battled at least once before in the channel at some point, because he was already added in my friends list, so I must have added him at some point. Anyway, if you guys want to get into a battle with me, I know a lot of people request on a daily basis, like when can we battle, all this stuff. I always take my battles over Twitter. That's just what it is. I'm sorry if you don't have Twitter, if you don't have access to it, but the link is in the description. You don't have to necessarily follow me on there, but that is where I tweet out what battles I'm looking for and when and what tier, all that stuff. That's where all the battles always come from. So if you wanted to get in on one, that would be the way to do it. So today we're doing a mixed tier match with a limit of 2 OU Pokemon. As you can see, I've got Crawdaunt and a defensive Mega Charizard X are going to be my OU Pokemon. Then I'm rounding out the team here. We have specially defensive Eviolite Togekiss, which is also our Defogger. Then we have our Stealth Rock setter in Rhyperior, Assault Vest, Electros, obviously a special variant, and then Persian is going to be, I don't know what Persian is going to be. It's basically Fake Out Pressure with a Silk Scarf to boost the power of Fake Out, because I didn't want a second Focus Sash user, and I also didn't want the Life Orb Recoil. So that is basically that. And while I am selecting my team here, just a friendly little reminder, if you haven't done so already and you would like to show some support to the channel and the series and all that good stuff, just a friendly little reminder that it only takes a couple of seconds to click the thumbs up button right below this video. It does help out a lot when you guys do that. I don't even know what else to say other than you guys have been very supportive as of late in the comment section, on the likes, all that stuff. So just a quick shout out to you guys for being amazing subscribers. I'm very lucky to have you guys here on the channel enjoying some Pokemon with me. So we have Vaporeon, Glaceon, Gliscor, Latias, Meganium, and Gigalith. Alright, so this is a really cool team. I actually like this a lot. What are the 2 OU Pokemon? Vaporeon just recently dropped down to UU. So I'm guessing it's Latias and Gliscor would be the 2 OU Pokemon. Cool beans! Cool beans. Now, as for Elite, I'm not really sure. I am legitimately unsure as to what he would want to lead off with here. I would like to get rocks up for that Glaceon, though. I also kind of want to lead off with Persian for some nice Fake Out pressure. And then we can U-turn out into something that would be a little bit more beneficial. But you know what? I think... do I really want that free damage? That's the question. Or do I want to get rocks up early? It doesn't appear as though... Well, no, he can have Defog on either the Gliscor or the Latias, I suppose. Yeah, you know what? We're going to lead off with Persian and go from there. Because I do have 2 Pokemon that have some momentum gaining moves. I've got the Persian with the Fake Out. I've got the Electros with the Volt Switch. And yeah, we've got one fast momentum gainer in Persian and one slow momentum gainer in Electros. Both have their uses, of course. But we're going to see what happens here. I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since I've battled. I've done some showdown battles here and there, but that doesn't really get you back into things like a real Wi-Fi battle does. There's something about this, and you guys know what I'm talking about. There's like a certain feeling about Wi-Fi battles that's different than showdown. It's an atmosphere thing, I guess. A big rock leads things off, and we're going to immediately break your sturdy. And yeah, I don't know what this thing is going to want to do, honestly. I kind of want to taunt it to prevent Stealth Rocks from going up on my side of the field, but I don't know. What do we see here? Lefties. Okay. I really do want to taunt you then. If you have lefties, you probably have Stealth Rock, and you probably are seeing Charizard and not wanting any things on... Yeah. But if he goes for a Stone Edge, I'm kind of screwed. So you know what? I'm going to U-turn out here. We can always defog later. I'm not going to risk losing Persian because that Fake Out pressure is going to be key. So yeah. What do we have that can take this on? We do have Rhyperior that should be able to take it on fairly nicely. Obviously, Charizard is not a good switch, and Togekiss really isn't a good switch either. So Rhyperior is really the only thing I can go into here. And we may end up trading rocks. I don't know. Maybe he'll go for an explosion. Who knows? He does go for the Stealth Rock. I should have went for the taunt. So we're going to have to get Togekiss in here eventually. Or not Togekiss, Togetic. Stealth Rocking Gigalith. That's one that I haven't seen since last gen. Not that I'm complaining or anything. This thing can't really touch me. unless it has like Superpower or Earthquake, but even still, I don't even know if that'll be a 2-hit KO. And he's lefty, so that leads me to believe that he's more of a defensive build. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up rocks here, as he's going to withdraw a big rock. And he's going to go into his Gliscor, and we're going to see the Poison Orb, or Toxic Orb, I guess is the correct term, come into play here. There it is. This is going to be a problem because I don't think I have anything with an Ice-type move. As sad as that is, I really hope that this is not a stalling set because I will be a bit upset. I'm going to go for a Dragon Tail here to get rid of this thing. I don't want this thing out. Fling, as he's going to fling his Toxic Orb. That is pretty cool. Have to say that is pretty darn cool. And there we go. We are now badly poisoned. That's pretty cool. I like that strategy a lot. So there's the Dragon Tail. That doesn't do much, but it's going to get rid of this Gliscor, and out comes a big rock yet again, who can't really do a whole lot to us, to be fair. This might be an okay time to try to get a switch into Togekiss. Why do I keep calling it Togekiss? It's definitely not a Togekiss. That is a Togetic. Look at his cute little picture down in the bottom corner there. It's definitely a Togetic. I don't know why I want to call it Togekiss. I can't even stand Togekiss. Why would I even want to have a Togekiss on my team? I don't know. These are the questions that keep me up at night. I'm going to go into Eggo here. We're going to try to get a Defog off and a Heal Bell. I don't know. That might be a little bit much, but that's what we're doing. I'm not too worried about Rhyperior being poisoned. As long as we don't take a lot of damage from it, we should be fine. As I don't have any recovery, unfortunately. I don't have a Wish Passer or anything, so out comes Eggo, and we take 25% due to the rocks, and he's going to withdraw his big rock and go into Gliscor yet again, which I am not afraid of. And he doesn't have his Toxic Orb anymore, so possibly he was predicting an EQ there, which would not have been a bad play on my part. But yeah, we're going to get Defog off here and go from there as he goes for the Acrobatics. Wow, that is impressive. That does a nice chunk of damage as well. Thankfully, we got a Defog off. I think we can take one more. I don't know if I want to risk that exactly. There's the Poison Heal. Yeah, he's definitely going to get back up to full HP here, which really stinks. Do I want to try to stay in Roost? Let's see. If I took... Let's see. We took 25% due to the rocks. I should be able to survive one more hit and Roost up. So, barring, like, really getting screwed over on the min-max, I think we're okay to go for a Roost here. He's going to go for the knockoff to get rid of the Eviolite. Oh, I should have switched in Charizard there. The offensive Gliscor, I really like it. That's why I like battling my subscribers. To be perfectly honest with you guys just have some amazing sets. There's the Poison Heal. Is going to get back up to full health, and it's just going to be a big poopy time. I don't know if I want to go for a Heal Bell here because an Acrobatics is likely coming. I really have nothing for this thing. We would have to get Claudina in, but I don't know that I can get it in at this point. Do I want to waste a turn going for Heal Bell? I'm not sure. I think we just need to go into... Let's see. What would this Gliscor have? Probably a Stab Earthquake. We've seen Fling, Acrobatics, Knockoff. His other moves probably Earthquake. So that's not really good, because if we Mega Evolve with Charizard, that's still not going to really put us in a good position. I guess we have to go back into the Rhyperior. Huh. No, we're going to go into Volvagia here. We should be able to take a hit, because I am physically defensive Charizard, by the way. Indeed I am. I wish I could burn you. That would be the best case scenario. As he goes for the EQ, predicting, I don't know what. I've got a lot of immunities. Definitely have a lot of immunities. Now what is the question? We may see an Acrobatics. We may see a Switch. And again, I don't have much. I have almost all physical attackers except for Electros and Eggo. Eggo doesn't really take it on very well now that its Eviolite is gone. And yeah, I guess we could try to do something with Electros because we resist the Acrobatics. Yeah, that's our best bet. I should have went into the Electros this last turn, so we're gonna do that now. Yeah, we're just at a bad spot. We're just kind of switching all over the place. This Gliscor is a problem. Once we get rid of that, we can start working on the rest of his team a little bit easier. There's the Acrobatics. That still does way too much damage for my taste. We can go for a nice Giga Drain here. He's going to go for a knockoff, I'm assuming, to get rid of our item. Because, what's wrong with a little knockoff spam, right? Or he may just flat out switch here. I guess that's always possible. It is very, very possible. I was not expecting... Well, no, I should have expected. Gliscor is always a problem. Whether it's offensive, whether it's defensive, Gliscor is always a problem. I should have brought something that had an Ice-type move. I mean, if we can get Claudina in safely, we'll be fine, because we can, you know, Dragon Dance and poop all over the place. Or actually, 2 Waterfalls might kill. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. But I'm going to try to get a Giga Drain off here, try to get some health back. He is going to withdraw. Okay, what are you going into? Finley, what is that? That is the Vaporeon, I guess expecting a Flamethrower. That was not a bad switch by any means. And we're going to get a nice chunk of HP back because Vaporeon has a butt-ton of HP. It's just a ridiculously high HP stat. We can take this on fairly well. I'm not really afraid of this thing. I kind of want to just go for T-Bolts, to be honest. We still have our Assault Vest intact. I really thought my opponent would try to knock it off. But he could have been scared of an HP Ice, maybe. Maybe he was scouting for it there. Scouting for either that or the Flamethrower, see what I was going to do. We could Volt Switch here. What would I want to Volt Switch into? Maybe Ego to get a nice little Heal Bell off. Possibly Persian to get some fake out pressure going. We have options here. But I think I just want to stay in T-Bolt at this point. So he's going to withdraw. Are you going to go right back into Gliscor after that? No, Full Buster. That is the Glaceon. And we're going to get some nice damage off on that. Maybe he thinks I don't have the Flamethrower now. That still did an okay amount. What are you going to do, I wonder? Curious. But I'm going to go for the Flamethrower here. That might just kill. I don't know. He goes for the Ice Beam. We have our Assault Vest, so we should be okay here. Yeah, we took that very, very nicely. And, ooh, that's not going to be a... Wow, it's not going to be a KO. We get a burn, though. 10% chance. And the reason that might matter is because Giga Drain might kill now. So I'm safe to go for it, and that's what I'm going to do. He's just going to stay in and get another Ice Beam off. I think Electros is pretty... Wow, and he gets the freeze. All right, an eye for an eye there. Except that I don't know which matters more because his Glaceon here is going to go down. That was the haxiest like 60 seconds I think I've seen in a while. Flamethrower burn, 10% chance. Ice Beam freeze, 10% chance. Unbelievable. I'm happy that we didn't get frozen the first time around, so... Trying to hold back the salt here, ladies and gents. Trying somewhat successfully. I don't know. Out comes Sonic Boom. And I'm going to switch out. I feel like he's just going to set up Calm Minds, though. That's what I don't like. That is really what I don't like. I would love to go into Ego and get a nice little Heal Bell off, but Electros realistically is not going to be able to take another hit. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know, ladies and gents, basically is what I'm trying to say. But I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna save this because even if I don't get a Heal Bell off, it can be good fodder. So we'll save it for later. Poor Electros getting frozen. Alright, yeah, he is going to set up Calm Minds, and this is just not good for us. He was taking advantage of the freeze there, hoping that I would stay in and just get frozen and, you know, it would be a terrible time. But I'm not about that life. We can go for the nice little Dazzling Gleam here, see if he wants to stay in. He's going to stay in and go for a Psyshock. That might actually kill because it hits on our defensive side. Wow, we survived with 28 HP, and that does absolutely nothing. And he has the lefties. I should have went for... Oh, no, he has Weakness Policy. Oh, that is scary as can be. Wow, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go for Heal Bell now and see what he wants to do. He's going to go for the Psyshock, finish us off. I should have switched in Crawdaunt there and possibly saved Ego for fodder for later on, but that was not the case. So he's at +3 special attack here, and I really don't have much for this. I really do not. We could go into Persian, get a Fake Out off, and then either well, not a knockoff, I guess it would be a U-turn. Or we could just go into Claudina here, get a Dragon Dance off, and I'm pretty sure a +1 knockoff would kill from that range. Oh wait, no, you don't have your item. You do not have your item. I don't like that. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Persian, we're going to get a Fake Out off, then we're going to U-turn out into the Electros to fodder it. That's what we're going to do. Part of me wants to taunt this thing to prevent it from roosting up, too, because if it roosts up, we're in a lot of trouble. We definitely are. We'll see if he wants to stay in. I'm guessing he will. He won't want to waste all of those boosts. And yeah, that did kind of okay damage. Kind of okay damage. We do outspeed, so we should be safe to get a nice U-turn off, which should do maybe about the same amount of damage. No, the Silk Scarf and Stab Technician, all that stuff. U-turn is unstab. I know it's super effective and a much higher base power, but it's I think it's gonna do less than Fake Outs. Okay, never mind. That did more and almost killed too. Wow. Wow. Now, the question is, what are you gonna do here? If he doesn't Psyshock and he roosts, I guess we would be in a lot of trouble, huh? I guess we would. Actually, we could go into Claudina here, because we've only seen, let's see, Calm Mind, Roost, Psyshock maybe? Wow, yeah, we have a potential to just go into Claudina for free. That is so risky, though. That is so risky, because I'm gonna do it. We're gonna risk the biscuit here, because if he does attack, we can kill it with an Aqua Jet, and we have our Focus Sash intact. He does go for the Dragon Pulse. So the Electros would have been the safe switch. Wow, I just thought he would go for the Psyshock. He'd been going for it all along. And now we're finally going to get rid of this thing. I don't think he's going to switch it out here. I think he's going to fodder it. Yep, he is going to fodder it, and I'm not happy about that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I was hoping we were going to be able to get out of there, get rid of that Latias without having to activate the Focus Sash on the Crawdaunt, but that is not the case. Out comes Finley, and I'm gonna say we don't need Crawdaunt anymore. I really am just tempted to just go for a nice little do I go for a knockoff, maybe predicting a wish? I kind of feel like you're just gonna Scald. I don't really have much for this. Unfortunately, Electros was my answer to this Finley and to the Gliscor, so I think we may have lost at this point. Unfortunately, I think this match might just be over already. And that's really sad. But it is what it is. We'll go for a nice little knockoff here. And yeah, there's no point without the... Wow, that did so much damage, and it's a crit! Finley goes down! That was a bit hacksy as we knock off the lefties. I do not think that was going to be a KO without that crit. I really do not. Tree Rex comes in. That is the Meganium. Yeah, I definitely think that mattered. Most Vaporeons are physically defensive. So, yeah. Now, we could fodder off Electros at this point and save this just to get a nice Aqua Jet off on the... what do you call it? On the Gliscor. But is that going to be worth it? It might save us the match later on, because then we can get a safe switch into Volvagia here. Decisions. Yeah, I do think you're going to try to kill me, though. I do think you're going to go for an attack, because I don't think you want to leave Claudina around, because you don't know what I'm going to do. If you go for some non-attacking move, then yeah, that's just going to be a problem, because what if I set up on you? That you're just going to be a sad little kitty cat. Down goes the Electros. which it just kind of stinks. I'm a little bit salty about the freeze on that still, but I can't complain because we already saw the shenanigans that went on with the crit and such. I can barely form my sentences because I don't know what's going on here. So now we get some free fake out pressure. And as much as I would love to taunt this thing, I really don't know what it's going to do. Petal Blizzard is not something that I would think would be too common on this. Actually, Petal Blizzard is physical, I believe. And that did absolutely nothing as we see the lefties come into play here. What? What? I don't even know what to say. Do I want to just U-turn right into the Charizard? I kind of do. I would also love to taunt you. I would love to knock off your item and then U-turn out. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know what kind of set this is, so I'm just going to U-turn out. All we've seen so far is the Petal Blizzard, so I can't really make any guess on what this could possibly be. U-turn does a nice chunk of damage. More than I would expect. And yeah, we're obviously going into Volvagia here, and we should finally have a chance to Mega Evolve, and it'll be a nice time. There's the Leech Seed. Alright, I should have taunted you when I had the chance, basically is what I'm trying to say. There's the lefties. I don't like that. So Leech Seed, Petal Blizzard. What? That is a rather interesting set. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back into Persian here because I just am. As much as I don't want Persian to take a hit, we can't afford to be Leech Seeded and have him switch into something else, especially that Gliscor. That would be a huge problem. As he does withdraw and goes into a big rock. So he's going to try to get more rocks up for Charizard, I suppose. There's the lefties. A lot of bulky Pokemon on my opponent's side. Actually, now that I think about it, his side was all bulk. Gigalith with the lefties, Vaporeon, Glaceon is just very bulky naturally, although it seemed like he was running an offensive set. The Gliscor, I don't know if I mentioned that, the Meganium, the Latias was the Calm Mind set, which usually is physically defensive. So bulk all over the place is basically what I'm trying to say. Let's go ahead and taunt you. Because I don't want Stealth Rocks up, and I think that's what he's going to go for here now that, yep, there's the Stealth Rock, so that's good, but he's still getting lefties recovery, and I don't like that because of the fact that he could possibly get back up to Sturdy. Now he has to attack, and I am going to U-turn out, and he's going to stay in, so I'm guessing a Stone Edge would be coming, and U-turn doesn't really do that much damage. The reason I didn't go for Fake Out was because it was, you know, not going to be any kind of interesting damage. Interesting damage, yes, that's a new thing. New thing, out comes the Rhyperior because that's my only viable switch here, and he does go for the Stone Edge, which is not very effective. We are Toxic Poisoned, though, which really is an unfortunate time. It really is. I don't see any reason to bother with, you know, Stealth Rocks and all that jazz. So I'm not even going to mess around with that. What do I go for, though? That is the question. I guess Rock Blast? I guess. Because, yeah, Dragon Tail's not going to really do much. And EQ is not a thing when you've got Gliscor on the field. So that Gliscor can just stall me out, unfortunately. He is going to withdraw. And we're going to see the Gliscor come back out here, which is a bit unfortunate. There's the Rock Blast. We'll see how much this does to offensive Gliscor. Oh, that's okay damage. If we get more than like 3 hits, it might do more than Poison Heal. 3 times, that's not bad. That Poison Heal is going to be a problem, though. At least, at the very least, we know this Gliscor's entire set. It's got Earthquake, Fling, Acrobatics, Knockoff. And so at this point, I'm going to let Rhyperior go down and just continually Rock Blast, because this Gliscor is my opponent's win condition here. As I really don't have anything for it. We need to try to get it into a range where Claudina can come in and kill it. He's going to withdraw and go back into a big rock. Okay, to take the Rock Blast, I'm guessing. And that's, yeah, it's not really doing that much at all. Can we get more than 3 hits? No, we cannot. And now he's going to set up the Stealth Rocks. And there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. He's all about having the rocks up, though, that's for sure. I mean, I can get a nice EQ off if I wanted to, I suppose, just to get as much damage as I possibly can on this, but I think going into Volvagia here might be a decent option. Just because I'm trying to get it in on something, I guess. And then we can burn it, and after we Mega Evolve, we can take a Stone Edge for sure. So that has a lot of potential. And I'm gonna do it. This is a tricky situation. Like I said, he's got all bulk. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to break his remaining Pokemon, and that kind of scares me a little bit. He does go for the Stealth Rocks because that's just all he's been doing so far. He's just been all about having those Stealth Rocks up at all costs. Just oh, I guess, no, that is a good play, because as I was kind of like mocking it there, but that means that Claudina cannot come back in, so that was a good play on my opponent's part. I probably should have switched Claudina in there. That was probably a little bit of a bad play on my part, and I don't know if he's going to want to switch the Gliscor back in yet, because he doesn't know what this set is. He doesn't know if I'm Y or X. Once he finds out that I'm X, he'll definitely switch in the Gliscor, because I can't really touch it. Especially because I'm defensive. And he is going to stay in, so we're going to get a nice Will-O-Wisp off, and because Stone Edge is not going to be 4 times super effective, there's no way that he's going to be able to one-shot me. Never mind, the Will-O-Wisp misses, and he gets the Stone Edge off. Is that going to kill? That actually almost kills. Really? And now, even with a Will-O-Wisp, it's not going to matter. Unbelievable. Great. Well, that just put me in a terrible position. I don't know what I'm going to do now, unfortunately. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I think we just lost. As sad as that is, I think we just lost. Just because of that. Ah, Will-O-Wisp, come on. Do I still try to burn this thing? I don't know. I'm gonna Roost in the off chance he wants to switch. He's not gonna switch. We need Stone Edge to miss. And I don't think it's going to. He goes for the Earthquake this time around. Okay, that's not Stab, so we can live that with 11 HP. And I guess the reason that he's going for the EQ here is just because of the obvious fact that Stone Edge can miss, and he just saw the Willow miss, so he's like, you know what, I'm not going to mess around here. Not going to mess around with this. I'm going to try to Willow you again, see what happens, and he does stay in, and we miss another Willow as he gets a Curse off. This is not good. This is not good. There's the lefties. I don't have any special attackers left. Come on, Willow. You need to hit here. Third time, finally. Oh, the Hacks has been bad in this match. It really has. That's what you get for running Willow, though. And there's the EQ. Down goes Volvagia. And we really just don't have much left. I don't know what else to say. Rhyperior would be our only shot in this match, but it is poisoned. He's got the Stealth Rocks up. Really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. Does it matter? I don't think it does. Let's just go into Rhyperior here and I guess just Dragon Tail this thing away. Or, yeah, because he's at +1 defense. Yeah, we'll Dragon Tail. He goes for the EQ. He's at +1 attack. And that's still not going to kill because Rhyperior is a beast like that. And that does a nice, not really a nice chunk, but it does an okay amount. Out comes the Gliscor, and an EQ should finish us off after the poison damage here. And Gliscor definitely outspeeds. Oh well, we put up a valiant effort, I suppose. I think the key... I don't know what the key was. Was the Willow the key part of this match? him setting up Stealth Rocks was important because of Claudina, obviously. Not having to deal with it anymore, but I don't have Waterfall, so I don't know how much that mattered because Claudina was not going to take on the Meganium that well anyway. So it really wasn't that much we could do. There's the EQ. I'm just not a happy camper. He has to know he has it at this point. There's the Poison Heal again. Props for using offensive Gliscor, though. That's always good. We'll send in Persian here, and I'm not even going to bother going for Fake Out because it just is unimportant at this point. So I will go for a U-turn because why not? I'm good like that. We'll kill off Claudina in cool fashion. It's not really cool fashion, but we'll at least waste his turn, as Gliscor is the end of our team. And I said that earlier on in the match that Gliscor was going to be a problem. And there we go. So Claudina goes down. I was really hoping to use defensive Charizard a little bit more, but I didn't get the opportunity to use it. It's the Poison Heal, gonna bring him back up to full health. I wish there was a way to speed up the animations at this point, because now it's just brutal. It's just like you're slowly watching all of your Pokemon go down. Alrighty, yeah, Pointed Stones, and we will finish things off by going for a knockoff. It really doesn't matter at this point. Persian's not taking on an entire team by himself. That did more than I thought it would, considering this Gliscor doesn't have an item anymore. And that is going to be a 3-0 in our opponent's favor. So, good match to you. That is a very interesting team. You had some cool sets there. I guess what it came down to was there was some hacks, but that I don't know if it decided the match. I guess what it came down to was that I didn't have enough wall breakers on my team to break through the amount of bulk that you brought, which was a ridiculous amount, to be honest. That's like what I usually bring. My teams are always very, very bulky. I brought a little bit more of a frail team this time around, and I guess it bit me in the butt. Anyway, still a lot of fun. Very good match. Congrats on the win, my friend. I'm sure we'll battle again. Hope you guys enjoyed the match. If you did, make sure you're leaving a like, rating, and a comment, and all that good stuff. And I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.